Hello, G's, and welcome to Jiffy with Friends and Family. Today we're going to be making flan my way. And I just want to warn you, it is my way. You might not have ever seen things done the way I'm about to do them in the kitchen when making flan. So I don't want to hear in the comments, oh, that's not the way you do it. No, I don't want to hear any of that. It's not the way you do it, but it's the way I'm going to do it today. So join me in the kitchen and we'll get started. Okay, so for those of you that might not be familiar with me, and maybe it's your first time here, I just want to remind you that I did say that this is going to be flan my way. Which means, that it might be a little unconventional, so don't come for me. Now, I know that flan, you make the caramel flan with white sugar, but I don't have any white sugar. So I'm going to add a half cup of brown sugar and see what happens. I'm going to put it over a low flame and let it melt and caramelize just like you would as if it were white sugar. Let's pretend it's white sugar. I think that the flavor is going to be pretty good. And people probably don't do it this way because it's hard to tell when the sugar is burning because it's already brown. But we're going to see what happens. It's starting to melt. Some people just take the pan and swirl it, but I think it'll probably melt quicker if I mix it around. And we all know how impatient I am. And two, I think if you move it around, that will prevent it from sitting in one spot and burning. Put a little water in there. Looks a little thick. Should have done that from the beginning. Now you know if you do use brown sugar, you have to put water in it in the very beginning before you start to cook it. Then you won't get these hard pieces. So I'm going to have to strain this before I put it in the baking pan, which is fine. But I just want to make sure that the syrup thickens up enough. Okay, look at that drip, nice and slow. I think that's about ready to pour into the pan. So let me go get the strainer. Okay. Turn that flame off. Pour the syrup into the pan. And we're just going to, look at it, it's cool enough already. Pour it around the pan. Oh, wow. Look at that. I'm going to just set this aside and let it cool. So now we're going to add the custard ingredients. I'm going to add 1 can of creme de coco, which is like coconut condensed milk. sort of. It's sweet. And 1 can of coconut milk. To that we're going to add 5 eggs that are at room temperature. And we're not done. Here comes another unconventional part, but it's not really, because I've had flan like this before. Usually people will put either none of the two. They'll use regular milk and condensed milk and all that, and they'll just make the flan. And then sometimes they put cream cheese in it. And then sometimes they do it with, they'll put coconut milk instead of regular milk. I used to go to this Cuban restaurant in Park Slope, Brooklyn, and this is how they used to make it, or at least taste it like it anyway. They use cream cheese and coconut milk, and it was the best thing. Now, I don't want to make a big splash. Great. I have a piece of container that a piece of cream cheese, some leftover that I'm going to put in there too. Because why not? What else am I going to do with it? There. I'm going to blend this up and see if, then I'm going to taste it. Even though it has eggs, I'm going to taste it. I have to because I want to make sure that it's sweet enough. Because if it's not, then I'm going to add a little sugar to it. But let's just see. Now we'll taste it to see if it's sweet enough. Nice and creamy. I think it might be sweet enough, but I'm just going to add a little. No, I'm going to leave it like this. I think this is good because it has that syrup. It's going to have that sauce. So now the caramel has cooled off somewhat, and it's time to pour the mixture in. Oops. I think that's all it's going to hold. Okay. I have some water boiling on the side, and I'm going to put that in a, put this in a pan and pour the boiling water in and make a bain-marie. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll see you guys when it's done. I forgot to tell you guys that the restaurant that I used to get this from had grated coconut on the top. So when you flip it over, the grated coconut is like a crust. That's what made this flan really, really special. So I decided to put some on top. Okay, I'm going to let it cool off now, and then we're going to eat it. Hello, G's, and welcome back to G with Friends and Family. I wish you could smell what I smell, because this smells amazing. I'm going to let you get a look at it close up and personal. And look at all that nice caramelized syrup on the bottom. Now, I wish I had an elegant way to unmold this. I wish I had a better container to put it in, but I don't. I just have this rickety old Tupperware dish to put it in. And Dad's gonna have to do. I'm gonna put this on top. It's heavy. And then we're gonna turn it upside down. Woo. Smushing. Oh, look at that. That's amazing right there. Oops, no. I'll let you see it. You see that? Oh my goodness. Now, I'm just gonna cut a piece. I'm cutting a big piece too. It smells so good. And put it on this dish. Oh, I should have had a spatula because it's falling apart. Aw. Well, the next piece is, and it's not really cold. I kind of took it out of the refrigerator. It's still warm. Maybe I'll let you see me eat it again. It's like eating warm pudding, and now you don't really get to see the crust on the bottom. Oh. I don't know why I'm so impatient sometimes. Oh. That's not very pretty. Let me go put it back in the refrigerator. I'll be right back. I feel bad that you don't have a pretty slice to look at. But this is going to be good. Oh my goodness. Mmm. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. And it's so coconutty. Mmm. This is good stuff. And using brown sugar, that was an excellent idea. The flavor. Oh. And you know, I contemplated using 4 eggs instead of, instead of 5. Because, you know, sometimes when flan is not like, I don't know what goes wrong, but I've tasted some eggy taste in flans before, and I just don't like it. And this doesn't taste eggy at all. And you can taste the cream cheese and the coconut. And it really is just sweet enough, because with the cream de cocoa and then with that caramelized syrup on top, it doesn't need any more sugar. Oh my goodness, I could have another bit of this, but I'm going to wait until it firms up. And I might let you guys see me eat it again. And that coconut on top is just the way, well, besides this fell apart. But when I used to have this at that Cuban restaurant in Brooklyn, it was like just amazing. I remember the first time I had it, and I was like, there's a crust on the bottom. It's like, what is that? I'm like, is that coconut? And it's like, yeah, it's coconut. So good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this really has to be colder. It's just warm. It's not like, it's not hot, but it's still warm. and it didn't really get the chance to firm up. And I wound up cooking this for like an hour and 15 minutes. This is so good. Amazing. Just amazing. You gotta make this, guys. You have to make it. Like I said, I had made this. It's been over 20 years since I made this, because my kids were little and they're all old farts now. I don't think my son was born, but my girls were young, and they begged me and begged me. And back then, I didn't do it with the coconut. I just did it with the cream cheese, and they really liked it. But that burn, oh my goodness, it was too much for me. I couldn't risk getting burned again. Working on my second quart, and let's see, what day is it? I don't know where my marker is. Now, yesterday, I think would have been the 16th day of completion. Working on my, so yeah, I completed 17, and oh, here it is. Yeah, I didn't mark it yesterday. I mean today, the day before and yesterday, yeah. So I completed 17 days, and today I'm working on my 18th day, and I'm getting closer and closer to that 30-day mark. And then we're going to be making up some smoothies in here. Yeah, I can't wait to make, you know, my fruit smoothies and stuff, my summer drinks. That's going to be good. Let me stop letting you look at the empty plate. That's not very pretty. Well, that was delicious. I'm so glad I decided to make it, and I conquered my fear of getting burnt again. That was a bad burn. And then, you know, like the sugar, like it sticks to your skin. It's like, just wasn't fun. But no burns this time, and I'm confident enough to make it again. I think I'll do that. Well, I know you didn't enjoy this as much as I did, but at least you got to see how it's done. And I encourage you to try it just that way, you know, and see how you like it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Don't forget to count your blessings, be a blessing to somebody else, and be kind to yourself. Until next time.